Well, Make Room for Daddy, I've said this before, is truly the workings of Make Room for Daddy was the blueprint for the partnership that I had with Paul Witt. I used to go down there all the time, especially on Catholic school holidays, because I got the day off, and of course the normal public schools didn't, and also it was not a holiday for the crews. So there were lots of times that I was down there watching the show work when the show work when I was on a holiday from some religious day during the Catholic school. So I hung out there a lot. I played a lot with Rusty. Rusty Hamer and I were buddies in those days. We were kids. I used to sleep at his house. He used to sleep at my house, and we were 9, 10, and in those days 7, 8, 9, whatever we were, and I would be down there watching the whole process, and I'd hear all the debates back and forth about how the scripts would work, and I heard my father and Sheldon were two very loud men, Sheldon Leonard, and they would really go at it and have a really interesting time, because Sheldon was the director, about what worked and what didn't work and how it should work and what was funny and why that timing was better and all of that, which was again more of the blend of sitting at the diner table in Vegas and talking about how the dynamics of constructing a story or manipulating an audience in a good way to be entertained, and so I just took it all in. It was very clear to me early up, that this was, it's not as easy as it looked, and that this was a true art form. This was a sport, you had to work at this and figure it out. And I really enjoyed the process. And then on Friday nights when I would go with my mom to the show, and the audience would laugh or not laugh or do exactly what they talked about they hoped the audience would do, it was like, I get it. Yeah, that was really interesting. So it was a great time for me, and clearly the blueprint of the partnership that I have with Paul Witt.
Now, did you see aspects of your family in the show?
Yeah, my dad, there were many situations, and one of us had put, I don't know if it was me or Terry or Marlo, somebody put something down a garbage disposal once, and that was in put the wrong thing, like a tennis shoe down a garbage disposal. So, that became part of the topic of a show. I remember there were lines that we would have that we said, that my father said, that's going in the show, that's too funny, something like that. Or an incident where one of us got in trouble at school and he had to go down and talk to them, and so that became an episode, and all of those kinds of things. We didn't feel like we were under the microscope, like, oh my God, if we say this is going on television. But there were occasions that those things did show up.